And we're back, and today's special guest will be Linda Axley. She is the administrator for the Adair, Cherokee, and Mayes County Health Department here in Tahlequah and throughout the region. Welcome to the show today.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely, and we're so glad to have you here because here we are in kind of the middle of flu season, and a lot of health concerns in not just this area, but throughout the United States as we prepare ourselves in a proactive way to be well prepared to address the challenges that come to every family when the flu season hits. So tell us a little bit about, Linda, about the Cherokee County area and kind of what the current status is, and also how we can help kind of think about planning and preparedness.
Okay, well, we've got a lot of things going on here as well as in the whole northeastern region of Oklahoma. The health department has a very well laid out and thoughtful plan. We're partnering in all of our counties with area healthcare providers as well as with schools and daycares and our local media to be able to get the word out about influenza and help educate people about the differences between the normal seasonal flu and what they need to do to be able to protect themselves from that, as well as with the H1N1, because there are some different vaccines that go along with that.
And for those of us, including myself, that don't know all the specifics and not getting into much medical terminology with it, but the H1N1 flu is a different strain than we've had before.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about, there is a difference, and we should just not be overly concerned necessarily, but we should just be aware there is a difference.
That's exactly right. The strain that is fluctuating right now is, or circulating in our communities, is the H1N1. And so one of the things that makes it different is that it's a novel virus. We haven't seen it before. Next year, when we have seasonal flu vaccine, it will include the inoculation against the H1N1 virus strain. But this year, people are going to have to take 2 vaccinations to protect themselves fully against the flu. And so what we're starting with is the seasonal flu vaccine, and by the time this show airs, we will have already had our first big kickoff community-wide adult vaccination clinic. That's going to be on the 7th at Hastings Hospital. But after that, on into the fall, we're going to continue with a lot more both child and adult seasonal flu vaccinations.
So those vaccinations will be readily available
Yes.
throughout the fall.
Yes.
Now, what about the H1N1 flu?
Well, the H1N1 vaccination isn't available in Tahlequah yet. It's just now coming to Oklahoma, and I think a lot of people have probably read and seen on the national news that the federal government has prepared some pretty massive amounts of the vaccination, and we expect in Oklahoma to start receiving that within the next couple of weeks. There is going to be, however, just a very, very small amount allocated to the state, and we'll probably get a very, very small amount, a couple hundred doses here in this county. But within the next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, we will continue to receive more of the H1N1 vaccination. So all the people who are indicated and in the target groups to get that particular vaccine, we don't anticipate any problem being able to get it to them over the period of the next couple months.
So the seasonal flu is available now, and they can contact the county health department.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And the H1N1 is still a couple of weeks away.
Yes.
And again, will that also be contacting your office for?
Yes, the health department will not be administering all of the doses, and especially at the very first when we receive the vaccine, area healthcare providers will probably be giving the vaccine to their patients. But as we go on through the fall, I think you will expect to see a number of different vaccination clinics around the county.
And so what are those priority groups? You mentioned there were priority groups of people that really should consider getting this shot.
For the H1N1 or the seasonal flu?
Yes, H1N1.
The H1N1. The H1N1 target group, there's a number of them. And so one of the first ones that people always think about, and I'm sure you've heard this on the on the national news as well as pregnant women, healthcare workers, children ages 2 on up to 24, and people who live with little bitty kids, people who live with children 6 months of age and younger and take care of them, and people who are 5 to 18 years with underlying health concerns. Those are your target groups. So I think one of the things that's really different and hard for people to understand, there's a lot of confusion this year. Normally when you think about getting a flu vaccine, a flu vaccination, you look at your older people.
Right.
And so I think you'll probably notice from what I just said that the older population is not being targeted at all for the H1N1 vaccine. And that's because they don't seem to be as affected. So the people who are getting sick are the little kids.
Well, there was a recent story in the Tulsa community where a 16-year-old young man became very ill with the flu.
Yes.
and did succumb to the flu.
Yes.
And that was a startling revelation to a lot of parents and community leaders, that they really had to understand that this time things are different about the
Yes.
flu. Not to be alarmed, but just to take those precautions and do the
Yes.
preventative work that you need to do with your family and your friends
That's
to make
right.
sure they're protected.
That's right.
Well, Linda, we appreciate you being here today. We're going to have more information as the show goes on, and we'll be back within just a few minutes.